This is Kay Kritiques. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Kay Kritiques, where we discuss all things South African television. My voice is a bit short. I lost my voice. I'm not feeling well, but I just had to release this review because a lot is going on. Today we are discussing Outlaws season 1 episode 23 and 24. So let us get into it. So quick recap. In the previous episode, Sihle did find out that Leruo was the reason why her parents died because of Tlali and his lies. She then decided to go home. Bandile did not sell Okabeni to Mr. Dlamini, and Mr. Dlamini wanted his 2 million back because Sihle refused to marry Kwanele. So that's basically where things ended off. And in these 2 episodes, we see that Sihle is feeling guilty. She's crying, and I think it's because she's grieving the relationship that she had with Leruo, grieving the person that she thought she knew, the person that she thought she loved and would spend the rest of her life with, the person that she risked her actual life for. She risked her marriage for him. She risked being isolated from her family and everything because of Leruo, only for him to turn out being somebody who's not really trustworthy, somebody who is actually gonna break her heart because of what he did or what Tlali told her he did. So we see her being remorseful, talking to Bandile about her being sorry. She wants to fix things. And even when she had a conversation with the Phumzile, she's like, Phumzile, you were right about everything. I shouldn't have gone after that man. I risked everything with Kwanele. And Phumzile is like, basically, right now you can still fix things, but you're going to have to lie. Only me and you should know the secret, and we're going to take it to the grave. Nobody else needs to know that you had a man in Lesotho that you went and spent some time with, that you were in love with, that he's basically the reason why you called off the marriage. Nobody needs to know that. What you have to do is go to Kwanele and lie. Lie. Tell everybody that you were in Durban, sell your story. And Sihle's like, I don't know how to lie. And Phumzile's like, well, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to lie if you want to save this relationship. And she asks him, do you want to marry Kwanele? Sihle hesitates. And she's like, I don't know what I want. But with Leruo, she didn't hesitate one bit. As soon as she left the hospital, she was like, I'm going to look for Leruo. So do you guys see the difference? Yeah, Kwanele, I feel bad for you, my brother. Meanwhile, Bandile, they're having a celebration with the other farmers. They're celebrating that for the past week there have been no raids, no attacks from the Sotho raiders, that their plan to implement a security company for them to buy weapons and everything is actually working. And they actually thank Bandile by gifting him some cattle. And I'm just so glad and happy that Bandile is getting a win after everything that happened with Nolwandle leaving and everything. I'm just happy that something is going well for him, and I really do hope that he's able to pay off this 2 million, because we do not need the stress, because Dlamini is gonna hold this over Bandile's head for the rest of his life. So we'll see what happens. In Lesotho, we see Tlali. They still basking in the victory of their previous raid, and he meets this girl in the club, goes home with her, has sex with her. Unyakalo, who they kinda dating. Unyakalo shows up, she hears them while they were busy, but the father's like, just go home, you're not supposed to be here, Tlali's not here, blah blah blah. And Unyakalo goes back home. One thing about the Tseole brothers or the Tseole cousins, they're gonna play in Nyakalo's face. Like, Leruo was cheating on her left, right, and center. He was never serious about her. And now it's Tlali's turn, and he's doing the same thing, and I think even worse to her. Because while he's talking to that other boy, I forgot his name, man, but that boy annoys me so much. The one who went to Tlali and told Tlali about Sihle and Leruo. He's like, I want to sleep with every woman in Lesotho, even married women. He's just like, they need to know what it's like to be with a real man. And I'm like, Daddy, get out my face. Like, I think, like I said in the previous episode review, Tlali is getting a big head. He's letting his ego handle him. He's getting too cocky and arrogant. And sooner or later, he's gonna mess up, which he does in episode 24, but we'll get into that a bit later. Now, there's a meeting of the top four. The top four are scared to the bone because the Zulus are now retaliating, and everybody is basically scared because now they have AK-47s. They've tightened up security. They have a lot of weapons, and they're not taking all of this lying down. And also Dumisani Dlamini, who's actually working with the top four, actually asked them to hold off a bit, that he can get things under control. Then once everything is under control, then they're going to be able to operate. So I don't know what plan they have, what they're cooking up, but I think they're going to try and weaken the defenses of Bandile's crew and then take it from there. Obviously, Tlali's father, Leruo, he doesn't want that to happen. It's like, we're not cowards. How are we taking this lying down? Why are we bowing to the Zulus' demands? Blah, 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 blah. Which he doesn't understand the protocols of the top four and everything. But the top four votes, and they're like, okay, we're going to lay low for a month or two. Tlali does not take this well. One thing about Tlali, he's too hot-headed. He's too hot-headed. He's on a warpath. He just wants to kill, wants to steal, wants to be on top. He wants to shoot anything that's in his way, and he's like, Masipa top four, blah, blah, blah. Why are we allowing them to dictate to us? And the father's like, lay low, otherwise you're gonna get us all kicked out. So if you don't want that to happen, just stay away from the Zulu territory. Obviously, Tlali is not going to listen. He's actually considering stealing from people in Lesotho. I think I said this previously, but I didn't think it was going to happen like this. I'd actually thought that I had predicted that there's going to be a civil war. I thought it was going to be between Leruo's crew and Tlali's crew, and then everybody's going to be divided and torn apart. And there's gonna be a war brewing within the top four and the crews. But I didn't think that it would be because Tlali decided that he's gonna start stealing from Lesotho, like Sotho farmers. That was a blind side for me. I did not expect that at all, but I did predict that there was gonna be a civil war, which I did call it, and it's gonna happen. Leruo's gonna come back sooner or later. He's probably gonna come back in episode 25 and 26, but we'll see. Then last but not least, Sihle actually goes to confront or apologize to Kwanele. Kwanele's there is like, what do you want? She's like, baby, I'm sorry for disappearing, my love. I did it for us after being shot and losing my parents. I was not okay. I just had to find myself, and I went to see my friends in Durban because my friends are the one thing in my life that hasn't changed that much. So I apologize for actually leaving. I found myself and I'm ready to get married. Kwanele doesn't believe this one bit. He's actually like, okay, let's stop beating around the bush. Let's stop playing these games, Sihle. Who are you sleeping with? She's like, what? It's only you. There's no one else. And then Kwanele is like, what's his name? I know you're sleeping with somebody. Sihle denies. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I am not sleeping with anybody. And Kwanele shuts the door in her face and is like, once you're ready to come clean and tell me the truth, then we can have a conversation. And that's how episode 23 ended. Episode 24, we see Tlali coming back with some cattle, and the father's like, Tlali, I thought I told you to lay low. Why did you go and raid in KZN? And Tlali's like, who said I raided in KZN? These cows are from a couple of villages away. They get into an argument about that because he's like, why would you steal from your own people? And Tlali's like, just there's some money in your coat, take that money and leave taking care of the family to me because you've obviously failed. The way he was going in on his dad, like, you failed, you haven't been able to provide for this family, what have you ever done, blah blah blah. It was literally a lot, but anyways, Tlali goes to sell off the cows in KZN to his seller. He doesn't have a reporter, he doesn't have any insider information, he doesn't have the police on his side, so he could easily get arrested. Like, he does not know how Leruo was operating and how they had connections in the police and the border patrol and how he got the connection with the guy who sells cattle, all of that. That's all he knows. Like, every time somebody raises a hole in his plan, he's like, Hurry, abashwe. Oh my gosh. So he gets a little bit of money and then they decide that they're gonna go to Johannesburg to have a great time. Unyakalo is still chasing after Tlali. Like, in the previous episode, she had gone to Tlali and was like, what happened to Leruo? Did that girl shoot him in the heart once she found out? And then Tlali was like, oh, you're still obsessed with Leruo. Like, get over him. He's moved on with his life. He doesn't want you anymore. Like, everything has to come to an end and it's over between you two. Now, Nyakalo's only hope is actually Tlali. So she's chasing after him every 2 seconds. After the raid, as Tlali was about to go and sell off the cattle, Nyakalo was like, Tlali, are you cheating on me? Blah, blah, blah. Do you know who I am? You're not gonna play me like I'm a toy. You're gonna treat me with respect. How dare you cheat on me? I'm not gonna tolerate that. Blah blah blah. Obviously, Tlali sweet talked her, and honestly, they deserve each other. And Nyakalo deserves everything that's happening. Well, Nyakalo doesn't deserve this. She doesn't deserve to be cheated on, but she should have just moved on with her life and not gotten involved with Tlali. And their storyline really just bores me because it's like, okay, at the end of this, what's gonna happen? Unless Nyakalo's gonna turn around and actually betray Tlali, this storyline is so boring. Like, yeah, let's move on because we have better things to talk about. Sihle, Kwanele, all this drama. Sihle asked her family to call a meeting between the elders of her family and Kwanele's family so that she can apologize and that they can move on and actually go through with this wedding. And I'm like, come on, Sihle, you still want to go through with this marriage? You don't even want to get married. But she was like, yeah, but if we don't go through with this marriage, I'm going to lose the farm. We owe them 2 million and this is the only way that we can stop it, right? So then they have the meeting and obviously the Dlaminis are pissed because how can Sihle do this? She's basically married. Like, how do you leave for days on end without telling anybody where you are, especially your husband? Like, you just go gallivanting whenever you like without informing anybody. You decide to call off the wedding. She did a lot of things. Like, a lot was happening and obviously they're like, you've disrespected us and we don't see how you can make up for this disrespect. Kwanele is just sitting there fuming, stewing in his anger. He's like, yeah, Ciya, I don't think I want you back because you are behaving like this. How do we know that next time this happens you're not gonna behave like this? Bandile is trying to mediate. Even Uncle Emmanuel is trying to mediate, trying to ask for forgiveness. Like, they're basically pleading and begging on Sihle's behalf. Dlaminis are not budging because they're like, nah girl, you've done too much. You've actually excelled in disrespecting us. Like, this is the height of disrespect. You can't get any higher than this. You've disrespected us to the maximum. And then Sihle's like, can I talk? She comes, she says, she's crying. She's like, I apologize for everything that I did. I know that I was wrong. But after losing my parents, after being shot, I just wasn't myself. I was scared. I was having nightmares in this house. I didn't know what to do. There was so much trauma that I had to deal with. And I felt like I needed to escape. I needed to go and get a reprieve. I didn't feel safe in this house. So I went to Durban to stay with a few friends just so that I can get away. And I actually found that peace. But then I realized that what I was doing is wrong. So I decided to come back because I really do love Kwanele and I want to marry him. And I knew that what I was doing was very disrespectful. Hence why I came back, and I'm here trying to make things right and apologize to you guys. And then she's like, she starts crying. Sihle, I was not familiar with your game, girl. Listen, one thing about Sihle, she said, I'm gonna stick to my story. I was in Durban, and then she was like, she's crying, and she's like, and then she runs off. I love that for her, but the game that she's playing is very, very dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. She storms off. Kwanele runs after her to go and comfort her. They sit outside, they talk about it. She's like, Kwanele, you were there for me, and I'm sorry that I didn't actually notice that and realize that at the time, because Kwanele was saying, next time you need me, I'm gonna be there for you, I'm not gonna leave you. And Sihle was like, you were there, it's just that I didn't notice it at the time, and I was just so confused. They talk about everything, and one is like, are you sure that you didn't sleep with anyone? And Sihle's like, I promise you I didn't sleep with anyone. Yeah, and then they wake up, they come back in, and they're like, we're gonna be having the biggest wedding you guys have ever seen in KZN, and everybody's so happy, everybody's celebrating. Like, it was literally just a big happy ending. That is basically everything that happened in Outlaws season 1 episode 23 and 24. Honestly, these episodes, I don't know what to think. I recently made a TikTok where I was asking people, like, do they not notice the parallels between Outlaws and The Wife season 3? Because we literally have two families that are feuding. The main hero of the story does something that is unforgivable or atrocious to the girl's family, the same way that Ukawe actually shot Naledi's brother-in-law, stole from the dad, and basically they're feuding. There's also some tribalism going on, and the main hero is the love of her life, but she gets married to this other guy, but then she's still sneaking around with the main hero. She falls pregnant. The main hero tries to stop the wedding. I feel like at the end of the day, Sihle is going to be pregnant with Leruo's child. Leruo's going to find out about the wedding, and he's going to come rushing to try and stop the wedding. And in the end, I do believe that Sihle and Leruo are going to end up together. Tlali is going to be in so much trouble for stealing in Lesotho. It's just going to be a civil war. It's going to be a full-on civil war, because now some of the other Sotho people that are being stolen from are going to come and retaliate. And with Bandile and Nolwandle, I honestly don't know how it's going to work out, but I do feel like Nolwandle is going to come back home after some time, even though she's claiming that she's safer, her daughter is no longer waiting the bed, and she's tired of living in fear. But at the end of the day, she's going to come back, and I really hope she does. And I honestly think Sihle is going to go through with this wedding. Ciao. It's about to be messy. Leruo and Moretlo, I don't know how they're going to get back into the top 4. But I think they're going to kick out Tlali's father after finding out what Tlali did out of the top 4. And then they're going to reinstate Moretlo, and Sifufane is going to come back. What are my predictions? I still believe that Addington's death is going to haunt and come back to bite Leruo in the butt. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it is going to happen. And yeah, guys, those are my predictions for the next few episodes of this season. I really do hope you guys enjoy this video. Sorry about my voice, it is a bit low and scratchy, but I do hope that you guys leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.